welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So, happy Sunday, everyone. Today we are building a one-story family home. So this is not coming from me, by the way, because honestly, this is a style that I don't really know much about. But I was, looking around on Pinterest like I usually do, and I was trying to find some inspiration for a one-story family home because I know that a lot of people prefer to play in those, and it's just been a while since the last time I built one. So I also was trying to find some styles that I don't necessarily usually touch, if that makes sense. So not a traditional suburban or a more like Scandi looking house or modern whatever. Just something a little bit different, out of my comfort zone, if you will. So this one came up and it's said on the page that it's called Spanish style, or I don't think it's a full-on Spanish revival. I think it's just Spanish style. So it's not supposed to be from Spain. It's just supposed to be Spanish style. It's still Americanized, just so you know. It's not a Spanish house. But I thought it looked cute and I thought maybe I could do something with it. I was a little bit like, the shape is very simple, but if we just decorate the exterior enough, it'll add something to it, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is kind of what came out of it. I will say, just as a heads up, I do change the landscaping completely at some point, so it doesn't end up looking like it does before we move on to the interior. I change it up completely. I thought it was way too simple. I wanted to have some fun with some platforms, or not platforms actually, but foundations on this house. So it just ends up looking different. But I don't know. I'm gonna try not to trash my own build too much while going through this voiceover. But it's not my favorite, but I also think it's because the style of house is not necessarily my favorite style house anyway. I think that has something to do with it. And on top of that, it's also a one-story house. And if you case, I don't know what that was. But in case you did not know, because I think it's actually been a while since I've mentioned it, I am not a big fan. Like, unless they're tiny houses or micro homes, I am very much not a fan of one-story houses in The Sims. And I can't really pinpoint why. It's just a thing with me. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything in one build today, and I'm having a hard time kind of not trashing it to bits, but here we are anyway. I hope some of you will like it, because that means I've done my job and some of you will use it in your games. I built this on a 40 by 30 in Oasis Springs. I did try to see if I could build it in Tartosa to start out with, but I think the only lots that were bigger than 30 by 20s was like a 50 by 40 and a 50 by 50. If there's a 40 by 30, oh, I've already built on it then, so I didn't want to touch it. Because I built a villa kind of looking house on the 40 by 30, so I figured, I'm still trying to kind of do updates to my save file so I can re-upload it for you guys. So I figured, let's just try to see if we can fit this into one of the other worlds instead. So it had to be this one, or actually only this one. So here we are building in Oasis Springs 2, which is also not one of my favorite worlds, but we're getting out of our comfort zone today. That's just how today is. So but yeah, I hope you guys will like it. I hope that it's some of you out there's preferred style or preference for builds, or I don't know how to phrase that sentence, but hopefully you get what I mean. I'm kind of like struggling a little bit here, but it's also Sunday, so like brain is not fully on. You know how it goes. So anyway, let me know if you have done anything interesting this weekend, or let me know if you've done nothing interesting at all. I would also love to hear. Honestly, for me personally, I don't even know where my Saturday went. It came and went. It was gone so quickly. I spent maybe around 7-8 hours building on this house, so I think this house is partially a fault for that, for me just not remembering what my Saturday has been like at all. And then today pretty much just been editing, so that's what we've been doing here. Nothing too interesting, but if you have something more interesting to tell me about, definitely do. Have any of you watched Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus yet? I think it came out Friday. I've not seen it yet, but I need to hear if it's any good so I can mentally prepare myself, because I've been looking forward to that series since they announced it, and I'm really hoping that it's not a letdown. Like, I really hope it's not a letdown. Also, I'm missing one episode of Moon Knight because I just reminded it's also on Disney Plus. Still not finished. I still haven't finished it. But I'm also kind of nervous for the last episode. People seem to not really be super interested in it, so, or too happy about it, I should say. So I'm a little bit nervous, but if there's anything else you've been watching lately, let me know too, because I need some recommendations for when I'm sitting here at my computer working on stuff. I like to have stuff running on my other monitor so I can keep myself entertained at the same time. So let me know if you have any recommendations whatsoever. For some reason, you've probably noticed, but the flooring on this little courtyard, it kept changing itself. And that happened throughout the whole, like, I think it might have been because I moved the house, like moved it on the lot. I think that might have been the cause of that. But it was so weird because it kept doing it both in the courtyard, but also on this little side bit we have over on the left side of the house. All right, I need to mention Little Campers as well because we'll get to that. But the flooring kept changing. It was so weird. I had to go back and like fix it all the time, but it's fine. Everything is fine. The flooring should be fine in the uploaded version. As for Little Campers, I think that's what the kit is called. The other one, the cast kit, I don't remember what's in it. I don't remember what it's about at all, but I've not seen it or anything, so we're not going to touch on that. But I did, instead of, this is one of the things, is like, why the one time I decide to go out of my comfort zone is also the one time we actually get new stuff, or the one time, but like right after we get new stuff that, I know it's supposed to be a gameplay kit, not a build buy kit, but there's build buy stuff in it, so I'm gonna half count it as a build buy kit. But we've not gotten any new stuff for like ages, and we finally do. And the one time, like right around the one time I choose to get out of my comfort zone, and the stuff doesn't fit the build, so I kind of had to force it into the build in a way. So there's a little bit used. I've used a few items from that kit, both on this little side patio next to the house, but also in the backyard. I actually ended up using the screen because I thought it was so adorable. And also the crates as well. I actually really like the small dining table and the chairs. I think they look very good for like outdoors use. So I've been using those as well. And also the Sasquatch. I love that, the Bigfoot thing. I actually ended up using a couple of the items as well for the toddler's bedroom, I think it is. Yeah, like the quilted rug. It's so cute. So also the Sasquatch plushie, it's just adorable. So, but yeah, I did mention last week, and I just want to touch on that. I don't think I've released a video since I mentioned it, but I did mention that I wanted to do like an overview Thursday of the two kits because we haven't gotten any new stuff in a while, and I thought it would be fitting. But I forgot, when I said that, I forgot that I had to pick up my mom at the airport. So when I came back and was finally ready to record, it was like 11 p.m. and that's way too late. The video would have been up at 2 a.m. if I was very, very quick. So I just decided to scratch that. I also think people had issues with their codes, actually, some of us creators. So I don't think a lot of people had access to it for a while, but it's fine. I figured we could use some of the items in this pack or in this build anyway. I'll be on it next build. I won't have to pick up my mom from the airport again. She's now retired, so that I won't have to again. So also, round of applause for Mama Lynn, who's now retired. She's not watching this video, but you know, just send her some thoughts or something. But speaking of new packs, I'm getting a little bit confused because they have not released a trailer or anything. I will be on that, by the way. I will be doing a trailer reaction. I have not done one of those for the longest time. I want to be on it, but I'm still like, where is the trailer? Hello? Because I think it's supposed to be out, the trailer is supposed to be out 2 or 3 weeks before the pack itself is released. It might just be 2 weeks for game packs, but we're entering June now, and like, it's supposed to be out in June. So when's the trailer hitting? I don't know. Not super excited for it still, because I still think it's gonna be werewolves, but I'm really happy for those of you who finally get some occult introduced to your games as well, just because it's been a while. I realize that, I full on recognize that, but it's just not for me personally. Unless the build buy is super awesome, then I'll rescind everything. Is that how you say that? Rescind? Anyway, you get what I mean. I'll take back everything that I've said, anything negative I've said about the werewolves pack. I'll take it back, but we will see once we get to it. So I also want to note regarding this build, by the way, that the floor plan was really hard for me to do because the house is actually really boxy. So I knew that I wanted all the bedrooms over in one side of the house and then make the rest of the house the common areas. So we have in the left side of the house, we have this massive kitchen, which if you've been on this channel for a while, you would know that I don't really do massive kitchens. It's not for me. I just, I build a lot of tiny houses. It's a little bit difficult. So that was a little bit of a challenge, trying to figure out what to do with all this space. I suddenly sat here with a lot of space in my hands and I got a little bit scared, just a little bit. I think I figured it out, but it's still a massive kitchen. So as an extension to the kitchen, we have the dining area, which I also think I lowered the platform by just 1 tick for this little area just to add something extra to this quite open space. I don't know, it just felt like it was the right thing to do, even though it's like 1 tick into the foundation of the build as well, so you can kind of see the trim on the lower bit of the wall, if that makes sense. You'll see it in a second. But it felt right to lower the platform at just 1 tick, so there was some height difference a little bit. I don't know, did you just see my reshade pop up? Anyway, I know that happened at some point, but I couldn't find it when I was editing the video, or editing the footage. It happened at some point, it's fine. Everything is fine. I actually reinstalled, after doing this build, I uninstalled reshade, and I installed G-shade instead. And it works perfectly. It worked like Reshade did on my old computer, but I've been having issues with Reshade on this one. And I do think it's because I'm currently running Windows 11. So if any of you out there are running Windows 11 and you've been having issues with Reshade, you might want to check into G-shade instead. So without, like, it's just G and then shade. Not GE, but just G-shade. You install it the same way you would with Reshade. It's just called G-shade instead. Your presets also work the same way, or you can use the same presets you used for Reshade. It feels a little bit smoother, I will say that, than Reshade did the last time I checked. But sorry for the technical talk right now, but I think that this might actually be helpful to some of you, so I'm just gonna touch on it quickly. But yeah, G-shade. I fixed my preset, I fixed my Reshade, or it's not called Reshade anymore, I guess. It's called G-shade now. I fixed my my shading preset. There we go. So you can't see it in this video, but you'll be able to see it in the next one because I finally got everything back to looking normal, and I've missed my game looking like that so badly. So I'm really happy that it's finally back. Not that there's anything wrong with this preset, but it's not mine. I basically borrowed it from a Tumblr, I think. I downloaded it like months ago, maybe 2 years ago, or I don't even remember, a long time ago, a year ago, something like that. It feels like a long time ago, but I've just gotten so used to my game looking like it did with the Dove preset that since having issues with it, since I swapped over to my new computer, I've just missed it. So it's nice that it's finally back to looking like it did before the swap. But if any of you have been having issues, maybe, you know, it could be worth checking into or looking into G-shade. I see a lot of people on Twitter as well talking about it, so just quickly wanted to mention that, although it turned out to not be so quickly. But we have a whole like 20 minutes left of this voiceover, so we'll be touching on a lot of different things throughout the rest of it, so might as well spend a little bit of time trying to help some of you, because I'm pretty sure, I feel like some of you have probably had the same issues, because it seems like a lot of people on Twitter had issues with Reshade as well recently. So also, although it might be a little bit useless, because I have seen several G-shade tutorials here on YouTube by now, but if any of you want a tutorial, let me know. Actually, if you want tutorials on anything, let me know. I'm up for recording them all of a sudden. Just let me know. I don't know what you guys want to know that I know. Like, what do you want me to share with you? Because I'm kind of in the mindset that if I know something, everyone else knows it as well. Because I feel like I'm always the last person to know. So that's just how my brain works. I can't help it. So if I know any tricks or anything that you spot throughout my videos and you're like, I actually don't know how she does this, let me know. Okay, you gotta let me know, because otherwise I will not know that you don't know. Am I making any sense right now? I feel like you don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway, I hope we're on the same footing. I hope we're on the same page here. Yeah, okay? I did a couple of years ago get a lot of requests to do landscaping tutorials, but landscaping is one of those things that I don't necessarily think about when I do, which sounds so ridiculous, but it's like my brain just shuts off when I do landscaping. I just sit here and then just place down plants, you know? And sometimes I think, okay, or not necessarily think, but it's like more instinctual, if that makes sense. Like, we gotta have some plants over there in that corner, but we gotta keep this corner clean because otherwise it gets too crowded. So I don't know if I actually do anything, which is also why I never ended up doing a landscaping tutorial, but like, just, yeah, if that's of any interest still, let me know too. I'll see if I can figure out how to explain my thoughtless thoughts on doing landscaping for you, but I swear, I sound so stupid right now, but I promise I do not think when I do landscape. I really don't think a lot, at least. So that's a whole thing in itself. I don't know. I just shut off. It's like de-stressing. You just don't think about it. You just do. Does that make sense? Oh, and another thing I just want to mention quickly is I also remember getting a lot of requests to do a floor plan tutorial, but I can't. I don't think you'd actually get anything out of me doing a floor plan tutorial, because I think it's very situational, because it depends on the shape of the house. I could explain to you why I have done this floor plan the way that it is, but actually I'm not sure I can. But it's just you just have to follow the shape of the house, basically. So if there's a corner, you follow the corner. But that's why it's so situational to the house that you're building, because each house has its own shape. But it's also very fascinating when you do shell challenges, which again, I'm not gonna do, by the way. I don't want to get into, I explained it on a stream once, but I don't want to do shell challenges, just so you know. But it's kind of fascinating when you all have the same shell and you still come up with different floor plans. Also different to the one that I would be doing. But yeah, anyway. So I'm not gonna do a floor plan tutorial either, but because it's too situational. But if there's anything else, let me know. I actually go back to, this is the parents' bedroom, so I go back to this bedroom and change the flooring to another one later that's a little bit darker. Which you might be thinking, well, doesn't the room turn out to be, because it's like we got dark walls, the furniture is a little bit on the darker side, but I think it works because we have these two big glass sliding doors that let in a lot of light. But I swapped out the flooring and I was like, oh, this color scheme, this is nice. Like it's very dark, but it's nice. I feel like it's also, I know this is gonna sound blasphemous because I'm Scandinavian, but for bedrooms, I can imagine it also being a little bit nicer when everything is on the darker side, because as far as I know, it's healthy to sleep in the dark. So it's just like, I mean, sure, some people would probably have a yellow wall in their bedroom and fully pull it off, and like it would be great for them. But I think I've heard that yellow is also an energizing color, so it's not necessarily something that would be recommended to everyone to have a yellow wall in their bedroom. So anyway, I just feel like it works in this room, especially because we have these two big glass sliding doors that just let in a lot of light. I think the sun on this lot in Oasis Springs as well, throughout the day, a lot of the time will actually come from the back of the house. So they have a lot of light coming in through these windows, or these doors, I should say. So it kind of just brightens up everything. But you can see the flooring. I think it's the one I've been using in the dining room as well, so it's the one from Cottage Living, but it just added something to the interior or to the color scheme in that room that I just really liked all of a sudden, like it just clicked. But you can see it in the screenshots, plural, at the end of the video. So yeah, I think I just realized that it's actually the first time I'm building a house like this on this lot in Oasis Springs. I think I've built on this lot a couple of times, but whenever I build in this area of Oasis Springs, I usually build very contemporary houses. I will say, when I say usually, it's like, it's at least been a year or something since the last time I built in this area. I really don't build a lot in Oasis Springs, but I remember building a couple of houses in this area. I was probably mainly building for the save file at the time though, so it's most likely more than 2 years ago. But anyway, I just know that this area, specifically this area, I've been building contemporary houses in. So it's kind of weird for me to see this sort of house in this area, just because I connected to contemporary houses a lot more than this style of house. I do feel like it fits though, but it's still like, I have to think about it for a little bit. Also, I actually noticed when I was taking screenshots, so you can't see right now, we're building on the kids' bedroom, or decorating the kids' bedroom, by the way. I did end up using the new activity table because it's so cute. I think it's made out of cardboard or something, and it's shaped like a car. It's very cute. It's very adorable. I just had to use it. The Sasquatch is over in the corner. It's adorable too. I think I accidentally placed a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot toy in the living room and forgot to delete it. So you might get a bonus toy if you download this house. You're welcome for that one. I'm not actually sure why I keep calling it Sasquatch. I have no idea. I've just heard it somewhere, and for some reason that word has just stuck with me. So if they are two different things, my apologies, but I'm also not, my first language is Danish, so you know, it is what it is. Sometimes I make mistakes. Also, this rug is the cutest rug that I have ever seen. I kind of want to lie on it. I don't know, it looks really soft for some reason. I don't know what it is. It just looks really, really soft. Like it's just made out of pillows or something. Do you not see what I see? It just looks like it's made out of like tiny square pillows, right? It's not just me seeing that, right? So I tried to match this swatch because it was the first one that I was changed over to, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is adorable. I tried to match it with, it luckily does, or I feel like it's fully on purpose, done by the team, that this swatch matches this bed swatch perfectly. I don't know where that came from. Bed swatch perfectly. The orange and the green, they go perfect like together. So anyway, but yeah, I was trying to match everything with this rug just because I really wanted to use it. So we're also using accented walls. I was trying to match the posters with the rug as well. I'm using a ginger cat as well because it's orange. Also, these lights, yes, thank you. Love them. Also, because they actually work as lights. So they're not like the Parenthood fairy lights. Those are just wall decor pieces. These are actual lights. You can turn the brightness up and down. You can change the color of them in the game as well if you want to. Also, I remember someone on my last video said that I could actually change the color and brightness in build by, so I wouldn't have to go to live mode all the time, but that's not true. You need a mod for that and I don't have it, so I tried, but it didn't work, unfortunately. Thank you for sharing that with me anyway. If it worked, it would have been awesome, but it just doesn't, so. But yeah, just loving these new items. They're so cute. I still wish we had more items for the for kids rooms and stuff, but it helps a little bit. So also, if you're wondering about the tiny books, they are in the debug catalog. They're among my favorite items. I use them in toddler bedrooms all the time just because I think it's so natural for there to be a couple of books on the bedside table that the parent could just grab while they're trying to get their toddler to sleep. So like read a nighttime story for them or something. So I often use them. One of my favorites is Toy Tales. That's the one I keep searching for when I have to find them. It's so cute. Anyway, just in case. I don't think I've ever actually, I think I might have mentioned those books like once when I first found them, but I don't think I've mentioned them since, and it's like 2-3 years ago since the last time, or since I found them. So, but just in, or actually, when did we get the bigger debug catalog? That's a while ago, isn't it? My gosh, time flies by. This is a weird video. Let's not think about time anymore. I feel like I do that every single video now. I don't know what that's about. I think too much. We're good. Anyway, so for the landscaping, I did not include this bit where I added the foundation to the front of the house, simply because I was set on just trying it out because I wasn't sure that I could make it work. But then I actually, once I placed down some of the plants, not all, although right now I was sitting here like, oh my gosh, this is too much. This is too much. Oh no, this is too much. I have to delete everything again. Oh no, it's too much. That was my brain all the time when I was doing this. But anyway, so it was a little bit too much here right now. But I feel like at some point I got used to looking at it and I was like, no, it's fine. So I just decided to keep it. But at the start, I was only gonna try it out. So that's why I didn't record it. So sorry about that. But it's basically just done by framing up a little bit of the area with the wall tool and then deleting the wall tool afterwards. Although I do have to use the sledgehammer now because otherwise I get little glitches. So that's the thing, but it's fine. It's not like it's not the end of the world. But that was the whole thing. But yeah, I was gonna do something a lot more intricate for the front yard, but then I decided that it didn't really fit with the house itself because the landscaping would have ended up looking very luxurious in a way, and I just felt like that didn't really fit with the exterior of this house for some reason, so I'm saving that idea for another house in the future. Maybe it'll be a Mediterranean house. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know I do know what I'm building next. I'm not gonna tell you. You'll see next week. But just wanted to add a little bit extra to the front yard here. So they also got a car, although they don't have a garage, but I'm pretty sure some of you will also appreciate that because I keep getting comments whenever I make a fake garage like, why are you adding fake garages? They're so annoying. I like them. I'm going to continue to add them, just not to this house. I think the original house actually did have a garage for 2 cars on the left side of the house, but that would have meant I would have to move this to a 50 by 50, and that felt a little bit overkill. So we're sticking with the 40 by 30 and just saying scrap the garage. It's one of those things that sometimes, the landscaping, sometimes I think I get in such a habit of doing it, or like I am in a routine. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm in a routine, so right now, I feel like I've been doing the same kind of landscaping, not necessarily like identical to each other, build after build, but I just want to learn something new when it comes to landscaping right now. That's how I feel, so I might try to play around with that for the next couple of builds. We'll see how it goes, though. I feel like I've done so many different things with landscaping by now. It's kind of... It gets to a point where it's a little bit difficult to come up with the new stuff, if I may say so. But yeah, they end up getting a pool here in the backyard. I do move the pergola over to, over to that corner. I cut a little bit out of the landscaping there. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that the layout was fine. But I think, honestly, with the amount of moving the camera that I do when I do like floor plans and also layouts for backyards, I think you'd be okay with me cutting that out because it's a lot. And I know some of you get motion sick. It's something that I keep in mind when I build. It's not something that I can take into consideration all the time because I do have to move my camera. Otherwise, I just can't build. But like it gets very difficult at least. But I just decided to cut it out here for you guys' benefits, plural, okay, let's just go with it, but also my own, because I got a little bit more extra freedom to move the camera around as I would like when I was doing the layout. But over in one corner we end up having a platform on which there is a dining table along with also a grill. I forgot what that was called for a second, but there's a grill on the platform. Then in the middle, there's the pool. It's not the biggest pool considering it's a 40 by 30 lot, but it fit with the back patio, if you will. So I kept it that size. I hope that's okay. Over in the other corner, they have the pergola, which is where I end up placing the screen from Little Campers, and it's so cute. I actually had to test it out with my sim self just because I was like, do they actually sit on these boxes and then they can sit there and watch the screen with like a movie going? Like, it's so cute. I don't actually know if it works. If you have seasons, it might be a little bit risky. Like, I don't know how the screen works with seasons. If it can actually handle water or not, I have no idea. If it breaks, I apologize. I am not the creator of the screen. I feel like an outdoor screen like that should be able to handle water, but I don't know how it works in The Sims. They might not have taken that into consideration when they built it and when they take the different boxes before adding it to the kit or whatever, so I really don't know, but hopefully it works. Hopefully it won't break from the water. It's outdoors. It's an outdoor screen. We're gonna place it outdoors. And it's so cute. It's adorable. I think I put on a horror movie when I was watching it. My Sim self looked so shocked. I can promise you when I watch horror movies, I don't look shocked. Okay, so my Sim self, once again, does not look like myself, but that's okay. It's fine. And then I also tried to make room for this new swing set there is from the new kit as well, because it's adorable. Like, that is just the cutest swing set. I need to use it somewhere because I couldn't make room for it in this backyard or in the front yard, unfortunately, but it's just such a cute little swing set. So instead, I decided to place these two big plant boxes, and place some trees in them. It also added a little bit like extra, because I did not place down a lot of trees in this backyard, so it was nice to add some height to the landscaping as well, if that makes sense. So they ended up getting an apple tree and also a banana tree. The banana tree especially fits this area perfectly, although now that I'm looking at the floor plan picture, it's orange, so I'm pretty sure the banana tree is dying from lack of water or something. You might want to get on that if you download this build, just so you know. Anyway, on this little patio situation over on the left side, we have some lounge chairs. I think I ended up going for the one that are just plain wood. I forgot what they're from, but you can see them in a second. Had to use the table again, so I ended up using the game table in this case, so they have this game in the middle of it that they can play together. And then besides that, we're just adding some plants because we have everything else, both a lounge area but also a dining table in the backyard. So I just kept the rest of this patio area pretty clear. All right, they have a couple of tables over here. Those are also from the new kit. They're so cute. Those were the tables that I was talking about earlier in this voiceover. They're so cute. But anyway, I think that is pretty much what I got for you guys today. So if there's anything else you'd like to see from me, like tutorials or other builds, let me know in the comments. If you like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the tray files can be found over on my Patreon, which you can find a link to in the description box or in the pinned comment at the top of the comments section. And there you'll also be able to find a link to my booktube channel. So if you like to read and you want to nerd out about books with me, definitely go check it out. But that is all I got for you guys today, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
In a millisecond, then it all came back when I thought that everything was lost. On a cold November night, when I met my Mrs. Right, made my feelings come to life again. When I thought I didn't care, I just saw her standing near, made my feelings come to life again. Now I wake up every morning next to her. I gotta pinch myself to prove that she's my girl. There's no place I'd rather be here in this world, 'cause I have no doubt, and I know she is the one. I guess it really was giving up on love, and I tried to block those feelings off. What did I do? In a millisecond, then it all came back when I thought that everything was lost.